I'd like to welcome everyone to the Digital Health and Entrepreneurship Open Day. It's really great to sit and talk to everyone today. We just kicked off this year's cohort. They're literally just finishing up their very first class of the day right now downstairs. So it's a really exciting time to be around, and I'm really excited to tell you a little bit more about what they're going through, and hope that we see you in a year when you come and apply. So I'd like to start off with talking a little bit more about the Global Business School for Health, the department that you would be joining if you came and did this program. So we are the first business school in the world totally dedicated to health. So what does that mean? You know, if you look around the world, there's a lot of business schools around that may have health programs or allow you to specialize in health, but that is on you. They will teach you the business, but you have to learn how to apply it to health. That's not the way to do it. You know, your grandma is not a widget. You need to understand it better. So here at the Global Business School for Health, we make into everything that we do the ability to understand health from people that are actually doing it. All of our instructors are interested in health. That's why we're here, and that's the sort of information we want to convey to you. You know, in that, because we've all come from health, you know, we really want to reimagine what global healthcare management is going to look like, and whether that is starting a company, starting a product, or you figuring out how to lead a digital transformation of your hospital at home. We really want to sort of be the ones leading what that future is going to look like, and creating that image, reimagining what is going on. You know, there's many challenges around the world. The world is still coming out of the COVID pandemic. You know, the lack of workforce around the world in healthcare, the lack of ability to fund healthcare. You know, there's so many challenges going on, and so really we are at the forefront of trying to unravel these from a business perspective. That means, how can we come up with ways to better finance the healthcare? How can you come up with more cost-effective solutions? You know, how can we improve health while not having additional costs and resources? And really, it's questioning the status quo. In English, you know, that's what, you know, just because we've done it that way is not a good solution. You know, how can we ask, well, why is it done that way? Could we do it a different way? Does a solution work better? So, you know, that's really who we are as a department and everything we want to do. And entrepreneurship within the digital health space, the rapidly growing space, is just one piece of that, of how we want to go about and, you know, really change the future, digitize the future, and in you creating leaders that are going to be the ones driving that and taking that forward. So the program itself, this is the Digital Health and Entrepreneurship. The costs for next year are £18,000 for UK students, $32,100 for those overseas. UK students, those are anyone who qualifies for in-country tuition. We will be starting the last week of September 2024, and that starts out with an induction. So we spend a week, even for those of you who may have done an undergraduate at UCL, in that last week of September, we are telling you what is it like to be at UCL East, the new campus that opened last year out in Stratford, and acquainting you to the program, the department, and how study goes. The program lasts for 12 months. If you are full-time, 24 months if you're part-time. I'll get into that a little bit more in a couple of slides, but essentially you will wrap up in the middle of August of 2025 if you start next year. The Digital Health and Entrepreneurship program itself is a very intense integrated health and business course. We go through management structures, we go through finance, we go through how to actually set up a company, but then we also go through how to design a clinical trial, how to market to your customers, and where are the fastest areas of development, as well as some of the technologies behind that and how to actually develop them yourself. So it does health, it does technology, it does business, and it does all of them in 1 year. The program is very ideal for students who have an interest in the fast-paced digital health sector and enterprise. This doesn't mean that you have to be starting your own company. There's a lot of positions, whether it be working in management consulting, working in business development for large firms, that require the enterprise and entrepreneurial-minded mindset. You don't have to be just looking to start your own company. Throughout the course of the year, you will develop your skills and strategies for identifying what is the next digital health solution, or what is the problem that you want to fall in love? What is the problem that is going to drive your future? You'll have many opportunities to explore that potential. You have several projects throughout the year where you can do sprints to take a look at your idea and really test it to see how is it going to work, and then learn how to better improve it if you do find deficits in your ideas coming in. You're here to learn, and we bring the best people around to help you and support you in that. And really the goal here is to identify ideas, develop them, and then actually take them to a business concept. And it's not always about money. Many of the things that we do are social enterprises, things that could be done with this third sector through charities, or within healthcare systems. So it's not always about making large amounts of money. It's all about how can we use an entrepreneurial mindset, how can we be innovative, how can we be solution driven to solving the healthcare problems using digital tools. So anyone who's looking to apply, the requirement is a 2-1 as far as a UK degree goes. There are equivalencies that you can find on the UCL website for anyone coming from outside the UK. Now, we also accept extensive work experience. This usually means at least 3 years in the digital health space, and that needs to come out through the personal statement as to why you're coming in. You also need to take the IELTS test, and you need a 6.5 average, and you can't have any areas below a 6. It's very important throughout the program that you are able to communicate in English, both in written as well as spoken word, and be able to interact with your colleagues in English. So it is very important that you have that English requirement. We will not give any dispensation. We will not let anyone in who does not meet that minimum language requirement. As part of the application process, you also need to provide a personal statement. Why do you think that is going to be very important for you? What are you going to do with this education? As well as one reference that is able to talk to your abilities. So I've talked about the entrepreneurial mindset. The program is really designed for anyone who envisages themselves in a career in health and entrepreneurship. Again, this could be starting your own company. This could also be anyone looking to be in business development, or just trying to lead strategy within a large company, how to take that next product, how to identify the next product for a company and take it forward. Who is the next company you want to buy? What is their technology and what is the value to you? This is really aimed at people that are new or recent graduates. Like I said, dispensation is given if you have more than 3 years of work experience to help offset any lack of grades. But obviously, this is an competitive course, and having some relevant work experience is going to be very important in trying to get in. And so again, if you want to run a company, if you want to work for a venture capital, we take everybody because all of those viewpoints are needed. The program starts the last week of September with a 1-week induction, and this really allows you to start to focus on what are your personal and professional development needs. You start off with an induction into the program, talking you a little bit more about what we're going to do, induction into the department, what are we trying to do, what are the activities that are available to you at the departmental level, as well as introductions to how to write, what are the resources as far as academics go at UCL that you're able to then use for your development throughout the course of the year. Either during induction week or just prior to it, we do provide a self-paced course on global health. Gives everyone a little bit of a background on what sort of information is, that everyone knows something about what global healthcare looks like, so that you're able to launch into the program with some basic knowledge. So the program itself, in the UK, we use the flipped classroom. This means that there's going to be recorded lectures and information provided to you before you come to class. Each week in class, you will have a Q&A as a group with the instructor, and then you'll be broken into smaller groups where you will work with either teaching assistants or the module leads to really dissect what you learned. Overall, the program is 180 credits. This is broken into 4 modules in term 1, 4 modules in term 2, and then 2 projects, each worth 30 credits in term 3, which runs from May to August. You have 2 projects that you'll actually start working on during term 1. That you start with the business case, where you start to learn what is the basics of that. You get put into teams, and then you're able to start thinking about that during term 2. During term 2, we dedicate to getting the research project off the ground, and then you spend term 3 again, essentially May through August, working on those. Again, being able to communicate effectively is a very important part of the course, and so there's a number of assessments, whether it be presentations, critical analyses, giving back information that you learned, and this could be essays, presentations, assignments, and projects. So we really make sure that all the skills that you need to be successful are being tested. So it's not all written essays, it's not all timed tests. Each module has a slightly different set of tools that they're going to use to test you on the material. So for those of you who look at those price tags and are a little concerned, there's a number of scholarships. We as a department offer 2. There's the Women Healthcare Leaders, and this is up to £5,000 to any female student, regardless of what program you are applying to. So it is not just the Global Healthcare Management. Digital health students are qualified for that. Same for the Global Healthcare Leaders. This is now anybody coming from the UK, Africa, Asia, or South America that is looking to move into leadership within the healthcare space. And again, being a business leader is still a leader in the healthcare space. So anyone coming from, again, UK, Africa, Asia, or South America is eligible to apply for the Global Healthcare Leaders Fellowship, and that is, again, up to £5,000. There's a number of other tools, and again, this presentation that I'm giving will be available on the departmental website after I'm done, so you can take a look at any of the links that are on these slides. But if you look at UCL, there's a number of graduate funding programs available. Those are ones outside of our department. Anyone coming from the US, you can get federal loans to pay for a UK degree. And there's also many other tools for, or many other funding streams for students, Chevening, Commonwealth, Fulbright, anyone who's looking to come and study within the UK. And again, if you look at UCL, all of these opportunities are available to you, so you can take a look at them. And again, the website's going to be available for your use after we're done. Obviously you're coming to do this degree, you want to learn something, you want to go somewhere. And so there's, we start with trying to get you onto your next space right from day one. So during induction week, before you've even started your classes, there is a program on career development, an introduction from the careers service here at UCL, and an induction to our career services within our department. Throughout the year, there's a number of activities. We'll constantly be providing opportunities for you to attend events, resources, workshops to help improve your career. And we do run 2 career fairs. Again, some of these are collecting CVs, but mostly it's trying to better equip you to what does a job look like, what are the job titles that you're looking for, what to expect in that job that you would start in day one. We also provide a number of opportunities as they come to us for internships. You do not have an internship as a requirement as part of this, but a number of employers do come to us looking for interns, and we do advertise those to you with the opportunity for you to do them during term 3. Obviously, your studies are most important, but you do have that opportunity. Throughout the course of the year, you will be assigned an industry mentor, and this is a person who is going to support you in the development of your business case. You'll be meeting with them for about 5 times as a team. We also have career coaches and various industry events available to you throughout the year, including our Health Execs in Residence program, which are senior people from the industry that are going to be sharing their time with you and insights in helping to build your career. And then obviously you have access to all of the UCL resources, whether this is the career services, Innovation and Enterprise, which runs a hatchery and incubator for UCL, as well as the UCL Alumni Network, so that you can link to the students that are out last year, 2 years ago, that may be now looking to hire. So all of those resources are being brought to you in order to improve your chances of having a job the day that you leave. So there's a lot of different places for people to go. A number of our graduates from last year went to health consultancies, whether it's the Big Four or many of the bespoke places, boutique things that are focusing in on very specific places or very specific countries. So going into management consulting, health consulting is one place that a lot of people go. You also have management roles moving into leadership roles at a company that you may have worked for or do work for currently. And we have a number of alumni that have now gone into, they've started their own companies or moved into the digital health pharma sector in various different roles. So the alumni, and some of the alumni have gone back to their medical teaching and are now trying to lead digital revolutions within the hospital system that they worked on. So there's many different ways, and obviously, as we go throughout the year, you'll start to meet some of our alumni and you'll start to hear a little bit more about what they're doing. We're going to absolutely pack your schedule. It's going to be a very full year, but we do encourage you to make the most out of everything else that UCL offers. The UCL Student Union has a number of clubs and societies. Anyone with an idea, healthcare management, healthcare entrepreneurs, any of these ideas that you might have for another group, you can pitch it to the student union. They will provide you funds to do activities. And so we highly encourage you to both participate in what exists, and if there's something else that you're interested in, work on trying to build it. Anyone who is athletically inclined, there's over 70 sports clubs, anything from Aikido to ultimate frisbee, and then obviously your big soccer, tennis, netball. There's clubs around to play those. So regardless of what your interests are for sport, there's going to be something else available. There's also social societies, Amnesty International, yoga club, anything that you want to get into. Obviously it's a very stressful year. Many of you might be a long way from home. There's a lot of assessments. They come very quickly. You're in the Northern Hemisphere. It's a dark, rainy winter. Anyone needing support, UCL has an exceptional student support and well-being team. You can go on to their portal 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they'll be able to get you help very quickly. Same thing with the Students' Union. Anyone looking to move into London, trying to navigate London, they'll provide you opportunities. So UCL East, so you see the picture here. These were the artist renderings, but I can tell you now that everything is now open. The building here is called One Pool Street. The building here is Marshgate. This opened last year. This opened literally 2 weeks ago. So coming here, you're going to be coming into very new facilities, 2 years, 1 year old. They were custom built for education, and they're just phenomenal state of the art. You see this. This was artwork put in for the 2012 Summer Olympics that were hosted here in London. This is the auditorium, the swimming pool. So the campus is located right in the middle of the Olympic Park. You see all this green space. There's large amounts of area. It's well lit. It's safe. It's patrolled 24 hours a day. You can go out walking, running, biking, whatever you want, enjoying the waterfront. There's a lot to do in this place. Just behind where this photo is the East Bank Cultural Center. Sadler's Well is a famous playhouse in London. It has now built a new set of theaters out here. The Victoria and Albert, the V&A Museum, is a cultural museum. It's literally just behind this picture here. And then BBC Music is just the other side of the Olympic Park. You can see it from here. It's about a 10-minute walk. And there's a number of places to eat, both in Stratford as well as Hackney Wick, the two different sides of the Olympic Park. Anyone who likes retail therapy, likes shopping, Westfield Shopping Center is the largest mall in Europe, and you literally have to walk through it from the station to get to our campus. So there's plenty of food in there and shopping as much as you want. We're actually connected in. It's about 8 minutes from campus to St. Pancras, or the center of main UCL campus, via the high speed from Stratford International Station. We also have the Elizabeth line that opened about a year ago. That will come to the south side of campus, and it takes about 10 minutes. So just because we say it's an East Campus doesn't mean that we're infinitely far away, but we're very close, and both of those services run every couple of minutes. It's very quickly to get back in. And then obviously all of the venues from the Olympic Games are still open at certain times of the day for the public to use. So what is life in London like? Well, so UCL may be based at Bloomsbury, which is very central. Obviously, we will be out at UCL East. There's any number of tourist attractions. London is a huge tourist hub, and the best thing is that most of the museums, galleries, institutes are free admission. The British Museum, the British Portrait Museum, the British Library, anyone can come into those and use them. There's no lack of music, whether it be gigs and little coffee shops, music venues, festivals. And London is a very green city. We are in the middle of the Olympic Park, it's very green. There's the royal parks, but there's also all sorts of little small parks. There's tons of parks and greenery, tons of things to do if you don't like the skyscrapers and all the cement of the city. And again, London is ranked as one of the top cities in the UK for students, again in 2023. It really is a really vibrant place to do. Even on a student's budget, there's a lot of activities that you can do and things that you can do and explore. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more, trying to figure out what program might be best for you, I think it's digital health, but I might be biased as I'm the one running it. You can always take a look at the UCL website. Tomorrow, those of you who have more than 5 years of work experience, there's a session like this for the Executive MBA. Those of you who are looking to improve your research skills a little bit better, there's the Doctor in Business Administration Open Day on Wednesday, and then on Thursday is the Global Healthcare Management Program. So that's really aiming at insurers, hospital workers, not necessarily looking at starting your own company. But again, always make sure that you keep track of the website. There's constantly more events coming up and activities for you to do. So at this point, I'd like to thank you as you've listened to me talk a little bit about what the program's going to be. I'm happy to stay as long as people have questions. You can either raise your hand and I will unmute you and allow you to talk, or if you prefer not to talk, you can go ahead and put your questions in the box and I will read them. Okay, Bunga, you have a question?
Yeah, hello, good afternoon, Adam. My name is Bunga.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Thank you for your sharing. So I actually have a super specific question. So let me explain first. So I'm actually coming from Indonesia and I graduated from Polytechnic. So in Indonesia, we differentiate the applied bachelor degree with the normal Sarjana University graduate. So this is making my last degree is applied bachelor degree. Where the other is actually from the normal university, their degree is bachelor degree. But actually, we also share the similar amount of credits with bachelor degree. But in my country, in my country, the applied bachelor degree next stage education is also the master degree. But sometimes we need to take the matriculation. But actually, it also depends on the university requirement. My question is, do the UCL Digital Health is accepting diploma for students or no?
So there's several different routes for that. The first one is if you have any work experience, as you mentioned that you had graduated, it'd be very important to note that in your personal statement, note that in your application process. So that will help provide some cover. On the slide here that I'm showing, and again, these will be made available, admissions at GBSH they can give you a much clearer indication because UCL does actually have rules on school by school. I'm sorry, I don't have that information at my disposal today, but if you send an email to the admissions team, they will be able to get back to you specifically what it is. Traditionally, work experience and grades are going to be sufficient to get over whatever a school is. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense. I actually already tried to submit an email earlier, but I think maybe the mailbox is kind of full, so I think I need to resubmit again. I actually tried to ask the same question to some of the other UK university, and they declared that they also accept the diploma, because the diploma is a bit different because for Indonesian students, we share the 4 years diploma, which is making this one similar with the bachelor degree. But maybe I need to submit an email again to the admission team.
Yeah, I'm sorry if they're not responding. I will go talk to the team when we're done here today and hopefully figure out what the problem is here. We just started classes. Today is the first day of class for the term. So I know that it's a bit busy for the team. So I will see what we can do to get those emails answered.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for your question. Thank you for your answer, Adam. Have a good day.
Very good. So, Najib?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Hello.
And thank you for such a wonderful presentation. I have 3 questions, please.
Okay.
The first question is, when is the application opening? And how long will it take UCL to send feedback to applicants?
So the application will be opening the middle of October. We usually will wait. So it is a rolling admissions process. So we probably will review them the middle of November in the first instance. And then we will sort of review them on a every couple of weeks going forward. So the top applicants are going to get responses very quick. But if you put in an application before Christmas, you will have, or sorry, before the end of December, you will have an answer by the end of September, or by the end of December, sorry. Put it in before December, you will have a response by the end of the year.
Okay. And thank you so much. And the second question is, well, I'm from Nigeria, and I want to know, what is the cost? How the cost of living in London? Because this is something that we have to look at.
Well, yes. The cost of living in London is not cheap, but it's really a matter of what is the standard that you want to do. So you can look up. So UCL, most of Poole Street is student accommodation. If you apply, you can apply to live there. My students that have been there the last couple of years say that it's a very pleasant place to live, and it's very affordable for what London is. There is a grocery store at Poole Street. The prices are very reasonable, trying to keep prices down for the students. They say you usually need to budget about £20,000 to live on, but it's really dependent on what sort of living conditions you want to have and how much you want to spend on rent, and whether you want to live in Stratford, which is a great place to live, or whether you want to live someplace else and commute. Okay.
Thank you so much. And the last question, although you have answered some of it, is the issue of the accommodation. So I want to know, I want to have an idea about the cost of accommodation. Is it part of the 2,100 we'll be paying, or we have to pay maybe?
No, accommodate. So the tuition is just for the class learning. Living expenses are extra.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. So that 20,000 as a ballpark could pay for rent or accommodation. Sorry. So, but again, that number is very much so based on, what do you want to live? How much do you want to spend on Saturday night going out? What sort of restaurants do you want to eat at in London?
All right. Thank you so much.
Very good.
And we look forward to seeing you guys in next year.
Very good. I think Tom was next. There we go. Tom?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, hi Adam. Thanks for that. Just a real quick one, really, I suppose. Can you just maybe describe how the part-time hours sort of course is structured, just at a high level?
Okay, so in the first year, you get to choose. So there are there are 4 modules offered in the term 1, 4 modules offered in term 2. So you get to pick which ones you want from those. Then during the term 3 of year 1, you would do the research report. It's a 7,500 word essay on a topic of your choice related to healthcare, digital health. Then in year 2, you then take whatever modules you didn't take in year 1, and then do the business case with a team.
Okay, that's helpful. Thank you.
So we do our best, good, bad, or otherwise, to condense the number of days that you have to attend. So like today on Mondays, we always have 2 modules. And then we try to get the formal class work into 2 days a week. We don't always succeed. There's a lot of rooms, a lot of pressure on the room bookings. But we do our best to do that, so that now there are activities every day, and as a part-time student, you're going to have to figure out how to balance that. But we try to make the required things on as few days as possible.
Yeah. Okay, that's helpful. Thank you.
Okay. And Hamza?
Hi, Adam, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi, thank you for the presentation. I just wanted to ask, really, my question is focused really on what makes a good application, really. I've come a little bit late. I didn't hear the beginning of the presentation. So what is it you guys are looking for, really, to make a good applicant?
I mean, the program is going to be competitive. So grades are going to be important. Work experience is going to be important. But it's really a personal statement. What are you going to learn from the program? And obviously all of our modules specs are online. What are you going to learn, and how is this going to transform your career and let you achieve your dreams?
Perfect. And in terms of grades, is that referencing the degree that we've got? Because I'm coming from a background of, I've just completed a medical degree. I've finished my foundation training here in the UK. So is it the degree that you're looking at, the percentage? Because with medicine, it's really not.
Well, so, coming out of the UK, it's a 2-1. There's equivalencies for anywhere around the world. I'm fully aware of the specifications of a medical degree. Typically, a Western medical degree automatically qualifies you at any level for a master's degree at UCL.
And finally, the only question is, to continue working as a doctor, it's a difficult question really for you to answer, but is it possible to manage work alongside doing the part-time degree? Would it have to be that you should be in London, or is it possible to commute? Would it be possible really, and would you be successful enough to commute from afar? Because I'm coming from quite north in England, really, in Yorkshire.
Okay. I mean, it depends on how far north you are. I mean, several of our faculty members commute from Manchester.
Right.
I mean, obviously it's going to cost. We do, like I said, we do our best to minimize the number of days that you have to be in London. Classes do start at 9 a.m., which means it is going to be a very early morning. My friends from Manchester, they wind up leaving home at 4 in the morning, which is horrible, but
Wow.
it's
Okay.
it's what you have to do.
Yes.
But and it depends on how far north you are. It's very easy to get here from Euston or King's Cross. So it's definitely doable. You're going to need a little bit of a you're gonna have to work out a deal with wherever you work, because again, term 1 you might have your classes on Mondays. On term 2 you may wind up having them on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and so you may need to have those two days off.
I understand.
So, classes are required. You do need to attend. They are, the stuff that you do on the day are not recorded. So, as long as there's some flexibility in wherever you're working, there's ways to work around it.
Perfect, and thank you for that. Just finally, is this particular course targeted more towards the innovation of a business, or again, is it perhaps finding jobs within startups or within areas within digital health? It's not just purely a business startup course.
So we are definitely not a just startups course. Many of my alumni have gone into management consulting. They have gone into digital innovation at the hospitals that they've come from, both in the UK as well as abroad. Some of them have actually gone on to start their companies. And we will expose you throughout the course of the year of all the different things that you can do. But by no means do we expect everybody to start a company. And actually, that's not even a majority of the class. I think it's actually a fairly small minority that are launching a company straight out of the year. Now, 5 years from now, this may be a very different conversation. Many people are going out, they want to refine their ideas, they want to get some money in the bank, pay off school, and they'll start their company in 3 or 4 years. UCL actually provides a number of resources out until 5 years after you graduate to help you launch that company. So there's a lot of different things that you can do. We have a lot of cohort number 1 that just finished, we had 10 medics out of 68. I think I have about 16 or 18 this year out of a cohort of 90. So and many of them were working part-time.
Perfect.
Going to school part-time and still maintaining clinical responsibilities.
Brilliant. Thank you for your time. I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Very good. Any other questions?
I would not. Yeah, nobody goes.
Okay. Any other? Brian, you have a question?
Hello, Mr. Adam. My name is Brian. I'm from Indonesia and have a bachelor degree in biomedical engineering. It was mentioned that UCL has some internship with some alumni, and I want to know if while I'm doing the master degree for the business school, is it possible for me to take a internship in biomedical engineering also while doing the master degree?
So there's a couple of different answers to that. So there's no requirement to do an internship. There are opportunities some that you may find, some that we may find that you can pursue of your own decision making. Your degree is your top priority. We do not give any extensions because you have a job. So it would be something that you're doing on top of your studies. That being said, during term 3, which again starts in about April, May, you do have the opportunity you will have very few required classes, if any. It is really independent study with check-ins with your team. For the business case, check-ins with your module lead, program lead, for the research project and for the business case. But those are usually scheduled throughout the week so that you can attend those. So your internship is going to have to be modestly accommodating to your academics, but there is time to do it. There's also the ability to do what we call study away, which allows you to actually go back to Indonesia to do an internship if you are awarded one, which then means you do not have to be in London for those months. So plenty of opportunities, and many of those, I will show those to you, but that is in addition to your studies.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Adam.
Any other questions? Well, if there's no other questions, I want to thank everyone for coming today. Ooh. Najib, do you have another question?
Yes, I have another question regarding the qualification.
Yes.
I heard you mention that for medical degree from the Western world, from UK, you are aware of that. And I also have a medical degree from Nigeria, so I don't know how are you going to the criteria for me?
Well, so again, it's going to matter on what your grades were and what your school is outside of the West. I have never seen someone get rejected with a medical degree, but again, admissions has all the rules. I don't know them all off the top of my head.
Okay. Okay. All right, it's okay. We'll apply. Thank you.
Yep.
That's it. I'm out. It doesn't reject one, so we don't know, so it all depends on the university. The one with the problem, young guy. UK was one with the issue. Is accredited.
Oh, sorry. So that's that one. Sorry. So in the Q&A, what is your advice for developing a good application? Is it competitive? And are bachelor's degrees in certain fields favored? Lots of questions there. So advice for a good application is going to be really explaining to us, why do you think that this is going to be an important course? How is this going to change what you're doing, and why do you think you should be on this course? The course is competitive, and certain fields. So students coming in have majored in anything from dietary training, sports science, medicine, biomedical engineering, engineering, information, maths, marketing, finance, accounting, business management. Anything that really the focus is wanting to work in digital health. It doesn't really matter what your background is. So next question. So one reference, so it depends on how long you've been out of school. If you've been out of school for more than 3 years, it's probably best to have a professional one. If you're coming from but it should come from a business email, not a personal email. Otherwise, an academic one is going to be better, talking to your ability to do the academics associated with the course. Okay, so the next question is from Petri. They're wondering, does the module course in digital health and entrepreneurship cover the process of building a startup from the ground up, including topics such as securing funding, gaining insights into ventures? Absolutely. We launched this morning with a module called Startups, where we start with falling in love with the problem, then follow the money. We have, how to achieve funding, how to create a pitch is very central to what we're doing. And then through the rest of the year is how to make it successful. Where are the areas within digital health that are going to be very important and are going to be rapidly expanding, as well as how to show that your tool is important and is effective. So yes, the point of this is to provide you with all the skills needed to be successful in a company if you wanted to start one from scratch. Any other questions? Oh, here's another one. Okay, so examples of the projects that we have to conduct. So this is really the term, I'll reference the term 3-1 specifically. The first one is developing a business case. Groups this year so you do not have to build a minimum viable product. This is completely a thought-based project. So we had one group that devised a waste management system for health products, very simple, very closely related to the Amazon Now, where certain products in your house can have a camera on them from Amazon. When it runs out, it gets Amazon immediately just sends it to you. But doing that for medical waste. Other groups had apps for mental health. We had apps for better physiotherapy. We had telehealth apps. So anything in the digital health space. The research report is a little bit different. This is an area that you are interested in looking at a little bit more deeply. It's really, you read some literature, you tell us about it, and then you tell us what could the next steps be. So a lot of them this year was looking at commercialization plans in specific economies. Where can you find money? Where can you, both for investing, where can you find customers? What sort of marketing strategy would work well for a product, as well as what are the biomarkers that are needed for a depression or mental health app. So the research report is literally anything that you want to do as an individual. Any last questions? So the question is, are there any interviews once you've been shortlisted? The answer is no. Admission is only by the application. That's why I stress making sure that the personal statement really speaks to why you want to be on this course. Any other questions? Oh. So I see, Vanessa, you have your hand up. You have a question?
Yes, I do have a question. Thank you so much for the presentation. It was very helpful. My question is about funding. So, particularly for international students, the course fees are quite high. So I'm wondering, apart from what is already listed on the UCL website, how feasible is it to get funding for the course? Do that through scholarships or surgeries? And do you have any tips or past experiences from other students that you could share about how they went about getting some funding for the course?
So a lot of it is on an individual by individual basis. Many countries provide funding for you to study abroad. And so, that's going to be specific to whatever country that you're in. But really, unfortunately, it's going to be about Googling solutions because they change from year to year. So we put the big ones down that we know are there year on year, but unfortunately, it's going to be very specific to where you're coming from, what your background is. Any other questions? Well, seeing no more questions, I want to thank everybody for coming today. I will stop the and here comes one more. Oh, no. Okay, several come through. So the first question is scholarships available. So again, unfortunately, that's really going to be based on each individual. If you UCL is very good with Google. If you Google UCL scholarships for postgrad, it'll take you straight to the page and provide the information. There's pages of opportunities there. Same thing goes with other entities, the Chevening, the Fulbright that provide funding into the UK. a lot of it's going to be dependent on where do you come from, what are your financial means. So unfortunately, it's a very complex question. It's going to require a little bit more work and a much more bespoke answer. So the next question is, how many years has this program been running? We just launched our second cohort last week, but it is based on a course that I started at UCL about 5 years ago, and we've been growing since then. Last call for questions. Okay, well, seeing no more questions, I hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Thank you for spending the hour with us here. And I hope to see you next fall as students on our next cohort.